JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off The Script. Big Show and Ryback, Strowman and Roman. Get off my fucking TV and save me the misery. And all you fucking goons, just grab a cold beer. The man of the hour is finally here. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off The Script. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off The Script.
It's Saturday afternoon, and I find myself working to get you guys content so that you can enjoy your weekends. Sounds like a sound plan. And then I record Off The Script. I upload Off The Script around, 3 p.m. yesterday. And then I do another WWE 2K17 My Career video that goes up around 7 o'clock. I head over to my mother's house with a small pizza from the local pizzeria that's 3 blocks away from my apartment. And I present my family this pizza. I ate most of it. My dad had a few slices. And then I go to lay down and nap for an hour. I wake up. My mother makes me a nice cup of organic green tea with organic sugar in the raw. And I'm in the kitchen, and I'm looking at my phone. And I see a comment. And it clearly says, "Oh my God, I would love to subscribe, but your intro is cringe. Get to the fucking point." This is what the comment said. This is what the comment stated. Now, it didn't go directly to the comment section. It went to my YouTube channel for comment for review. Now, obviously, I benched this motherfucker instantaneously because if you are not here for my brand of wrestling news and the way I do things, go fuck yourself. That's all I gotta say about that. Now, I didn't realize how mentally slow people were. I would love to give everybody the benefit of the doubt and at least show me you have some brain or at least something going on up here in which something is working, where you can come up with logical thoughts and common sense. I mean, the video is 50 minutes long. Every Off The Script is either 45 minutes to an hour long. Get to the point. Would you guys prefer me to do 2-minute videos? Hi guys, I'm JD. In this video, Goldberg turning heel. Goldberg is going to be turning heel before Survivor Series in his feud with Brock Lesnar. That's the video. Oh my God, guys, Becky Lynch injured. She will not be at No Mercy. She might have to be stripped of the WWE SmackDown Live Women's Championship. There's your video. Oh my God, guys, Mickie James is coming back. She was at the NXT tapings and challenged Asuka at NXT Takeover Toronto. There's your video. Is that what you guys want me to do? For this fucking clown. Is that what you want me to do? Is that the video you want to see? Or you want to see someone who is engaging, entertaining, funny, and giving you the wrestling news like nobody else on here, and giving you an opinion that might not be the same as everybody else, and you can kind of gauge your own way of thinking about things. Maybe you learn something new here. Is that what you want? You want 1-minute videos, 2-minute videos? Because I can certainly tell you to go fuck yourself. No, we're not doing that here. This is not what's done here. Okay? You come here to fucking be entertained, and you come to learn something new each and every week. If you don't like that, lick my fucking ballsack. That's all I gotta say about that. Okay? I don't want you here And quite frankly, nobody will ever see your fucking cancerous comment again. Because that fucking ticked me off. And when something ticks me off, I have to say it. I have to express it. That's why I love Off the Script. Do you also want to know why I love Off the Script? Is the reason why. This is the #1 fucking podcast in your subscription boxes. Right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script. Thank you guys so much. October 16, 2016, representing TJP. I don't know whether I'm fucking watching a Cruiserweight match or I'm playing Mega Man 2 when TJ Perkins comes out, but regardless, his theme music has definitely grown on me. But he's on Monday Night Raw. The Cruiserweights are on Monday Night Raw. Who gives a fuck? That's why they're receiving mixed reviews. We talked about it in yesterday's video. Receiving mixed reviews. You know, the only thing fucking Vince McMahon should be mixing is the fucking cake batter when he's got a fucking birthday cake ready to be made for Stephanie McMahon. Give me a fucking break. Mixed reviews. How you gonna have the fucking Cruiserweights come out and have them receive mixed reviews? I mean, if that's not the biggest fail I've ever seen coming out of the Cruiserweight Classic, I don't know what is, man. But we talked about that on part 2. If you guys missed part 2, link is down in the description below, along with part 1 and all my universe mode, not universe mode, that's coming soon, next week, my career mode for WWE 2K17. Thank you guys so much for the continued support on that. I'm glad you're enjoying the concept and my way of going about doing things. I'm really having a fun time. My voice, listen, you know, I gotta give, I gotta take. So, my voice is not really the best because I'm putting so much energy and fucking passion into these videos, and my voice is kind of struggling for it right now, but whatever the case may be, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. But this is Off the Script, man. We got a lot to go over. I might actually split this into 2 separate videos. I might do a part 4 for Monday, depending how I feel as we get towards the end of this video. But I got big news. Yesterday we talked about TNA. This week we're going to be talking about Goldberg. Rumors going around that Goldberg might be turning heel for his match with Brock Lesnar. I got news on Mickie James. Yes, we're going to be talking about the Mickie James situation today, finally. I know the news broke after the NXT tapings at Full Sail, as they taped literally everything leading into NXT Toronto. We're going to go over all that. Eric Bischoff had some pretty impressive comments about Hell in a Cell with Sasha Banks and Charlotte. I can see he is a smart man and someone who I could certainly appreciate his knowledge, because he said the same thing that I did, but a little bit more low key. He wasn't upfront and blunt about it. But all in all, he said the same thing that I said on my Monday Night Raw review 2 weeks ago. So we'll talk about that, because there's rumors going around that Sasha and Charlotte are going to headline Hell in a Cell in a couple of weeks on the WWE Network. We'll talk about all that, plus SmackDown versus Raw and the ratings, and how Monday Night Raw ratings are going down, 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 down. Every week it's down. Every week. Like a fucking plane crash. Like a fucking plane falling out of the sky. Monday Night Raw ratings. What do you expect? It's fucking Monday Night Raw. Anyway, you guys know the deal about that. We'll talk about everything plus so much more. Quickly, Twitter, at JD from NY206. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, I don't know what the fuck you're waiting for, man. JD from NY206 for the best WWE content anywhere this side of YouTube. My friends over at Loot Crate, WWE Slam Crate, coming very soon, man. Use the coupon code JD from NY by using the link that I provide to you guys down below in the description, and you're going to get 10% off any subscription that you purchase, man. It is a bi-monthly subscription, meaning you're only going to get it 6 times per year. So make sure you guys sign up through me and my link and use the coupon code 10% off your purchase, man. So make sure you guys go and do that. WWE Loot Crate, Slam Crate, coming very soon. If If you guys don't like that and you want an alternative to Loot Crate, I got WrestleCrate for you, man. My friends over at WrestleCrate, WrestleCrate.com, and on Twitter at WrestleCrates. Use the coupon code JD. Sent me for an instant 10% off. If you guys want to pledge to the podcast and donate to the podcast, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you to everybody that has pledged so far this week. If you guys don't want to do that, another way you can help out the podcast is by buying a t-shirt, man. I got ideas brewing for t-shirts, not only for Goon City Wrestling, WWE Universe mode coming up with me and Rusty, a.k.a. Falcon. I got 9 to 5 t-shirts brewing up here as well. Mr. 9 to 5 is going to have a big year on WWE 2K17. And if you guys want your Get Off My TV t-shirts, man, 4 versions. You got the Goon City t-shirt. You got the original gray Off The Script logo shirt. Barber Shop Window. That's an affiliate of Pro Wrestling Tees. We are partnered with Barber Shop Window. So go to barbershopwindow.com, use the search bar, and then type in Off The Script. You're going to see everything you need as it pertains to my online store, man. So make sure you guys go and do that. $19.99. They ship worldwide. No matter where you are, you can get your own Off The Script merchandise. Wrestle Rumble, guys. I mentioned this in part 2. I got the email yesterday. Wrestle Rumble is a contest where they hold, depending on the pay-per-view, where you pick the winners and answer questions correctly to win cash prizes. Wrestle Rumble, they gave away tickets to NXT Toronto with their last pick'em. And this time, they're doing the same thing with Hell in a Cell, man. They are not only giving you $500 cash, but they're going to give you lower level tickets for first place to the Royal Rumble at the Alamo Dome, man. That is unfucking believable. I will let you guys know what's going on with that. WrestleRumble.com. Hell in a Cell pick'em coming soon. I will let you guys know immediately any information on that so you all can enter to win tickets to the Royal Rumble. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I got. Let's get into the news. I want to start off with, let's see what we got here. Where's my notes? Where's my notes, man? Actually, I'm going to start off with this because this is a bullshit story. This here is a complete bullshit story, man. People were tweeting me about this stipulation for the Survivor Series. Now, I don't know where this news came from. Apparently, this website, 434.com, is reporting this, and I don't see how this makes any sense whatsoever. Huge stipulation being added to the Survivor Series elimination match between Raw and SmackDown. The card for Survivor Series has already begun to take shape. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon laid down the challenge to Raw's Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley to have 3 traditional Survivor Series matches at the upcoming pay-per-view in November. One will be featured with the tag teams of both brands. The second one will pair their women together, fighting it out. And the third elimination match is set to have the top 5 wrestlers from each brand fight it out for a very important privilege after Survivor Series. According to a report from 434.com, and I want you guys to take this with a grain of salt. The winning brand in the match will be given bragging rights and a trophy. More importantly, there will be a stipulation added to the match that the winning brand can choose 3 WWE superstars to jump ship. That means if Raw defeats SmackDown in the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match, then they'd be able to take 3 SmackDown superstars and bring them to Raw. You think that SmackDown would get the win over Raw because the latter already had the advantage during the WWE draft. Not to mention guys like Cesaro, Sami Zayn, and others who would have the opportunity to do so much more on SmackDown than on Raw. Now, that's all the report says. That's all the report says. There's no links to anything. There's no sources. I don't know where they heard this report from, but this is fucking retarded. Because going into this, number one, it makes it seem a little too predictable. Because if you're going into this and you're going to have Raw versus SmackDown and then add that stipulation on top of that, why would Monday Night Raw take more talent from SmackDown when SmackDown barely has any talent as it is? That's number one. Number two, if SmackDown won, now realistically, hear me out on this, because this is the first thing that popped into my head. If SmackDown won and beat Raw and got a choice of 3 superstars, I mean, who's to say and who's to stop them from taking, okay, I'll take a Brock Lesnar, I'll take a Seth Rollins, and I'll take a Kevin Owens. That doesn't make any sense. So realistically, you're going to give SmackDown that power to wield, to choose anybody on the Raw roster to jump ship. Or you think SmackDown is going to be stupid enough, or WWE is going to pretend we're stupid enough that SmackDown is going to bypass those guys and say, okay, I'll take a Curtis Axel, I'll take a Mark Henry, and I'll take, you know what, throw Cesaro in there. Give me a break. Give me a break. If you are a fucking commissioner or GM, you're looking at the top. Rollins, Reigns, Owens, Balor, Lesnar, Sasha, Charlotte. Give me a fucking break, man. That is the most asinine fucking stipulation I have ever heard, man. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. If SmackDown wins, they're not taking the top guys. If SmackDown wins, how is WWE going to make me believe that these other guys, an Axel or a Henry or a Zayn, I mean, why wouldn't they go for the top guys? Why wouldn't you immediately go for the top guys? It's not happening. Absolutely fucking stupid. I don't give a fuck about bragging rights. I don't give a fuck about a trophy. It's stupid. Absolutely stupid. There needs to be no stipulation. The one stipulation that was brought to everybody's attention was from Solomon, and I think that one makes the best out of everything. That one rings and resonates better than this other bullshit that's being reported. The winning brand has their championship headline WrestleMania. Simple. Simple. How are you going to make me believe that Daniel Bryan is not going to choose a Rollins to jump ship to SmackDown? Give me a break. And then you're going to come out and say, yeah, okay, we'll take a Curtis Axel. So you're going to take a Curtis Axel over Seth Rollins and a Rusev and a Roman Reigns and a Brock Lesnar? No. Give me a break. Absolutely stupid stipulation being talked about. There's no sources. There's no other information according to a report. Where the fuck did they get this report from? I didn't hear nothing else about this except from this website. Unless this is just fabricated bullshit. It makes absolutely no fucking sense. So I want to throw that out there immediately. It's stupid. And it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Now, on to the real news. Sorry about that little story. But it just doesn't make any sense. In retrospect, it sounds cool. But it doesn't make any sense, man. It doesn't have any backing to it. I would love if there's some type of stipulation, but having your show's champion headline WrestleMania, I think, is the best. Man, that's the ultimate bragging right there. That is the ultimate bragging right. Not taking talent from the roster or a fucking trophy. You know? Raw or SmackDown could say, you know what? Our title headlined WrestleMania. That's it. That is the ultimate bragging right between Raw and SmackDown. Which title, which show headlined WrestleMania? Think about it. Think about it before you go and add this stipulation and make everybody look like a complete fucking buffoon. Seriously. That is the ultimate bragging right there. Goldberg could be turning heel for a feud with Brock Lesnar. Does it even matter? I mean, this match is going to be a one and done, and then Goldberg is going to go on to something else. Who gives a shit if he's turning heel, if he's turning face, if he's turning into an alien? Who gives a fuck? I mean, he's coming back, and we know the reasons why he's coming back, and we can speculate on more reasons why WWE is bringing him back, but who gives a shit if he's a heel? Seriously. I mean, people are going to boo him in Canada anyway, because we discussed this. He's the one who ended Bret Hart's career. Bret Hart's a Canadian hero, right? But other than that, people in the States here, they're ready, willing, and able to chant Goldberg. They're ready to chant Goldberg. As soon as Goldberg comes out on Monday Night Raw, they're going to be fucking chanting Goldberg. That's all you're going to hear. That's all you're going to hear. You're going to see the fucking, the sparklers go off when he makes his introduction. You're going to see the officers guiding him to the ring. Everybody wants to see it one more time. Why are you going to turn him heel? It doesn't even matter. This is a star-studded attraction. It's two big names going at it one-on-one, and you don't really need a heel in this situation. It's not like they're fighting for a fucking championship. It's not like they're going to get embroiled in a fucking 8-month-long feud, and there needs to be a clear-cut heel and a clear-cut babyface. Doesn't make any sense. For the first time in 12 years, Bill Goldberg will step foot inside a WWE ring and be featured on WWE programming on Raw. The challenge was presented to him by Paul Heyman last week. It was revealed that Goldberg would finally be making his return to WWE television after several months of rumors and speculation from the WWE Universe that he could be back inside a WWE ring. On Raw, Goldberg will be addressing the challenge from Brock Lesnar, which is expected to begin the feud between the two men that will culminate at Survivor Series next month in Toronto. Originally, the WWE Universe believed that if Goldberg were to return to WWE programming, it could be to promote WWE 2K17, the video game, and possibly lead to a WWE Hall of Fame induction in Orlando next year. However, the video game will be promoted the more Goldberg appears on WWE television, which is going to be a lot considering WWE has added more dates recently to his comeback. The Hall of Fame is possible, but WWE officials aren't going to wait until WrestleMania to book Goldberg versus Lesnar. In fact, there could be a major angle that could see Goldberg's WWE return become drastically different than the WWE fans expect. Goldberg's return to WWE has taken a long time to come to fruition, and a lot that must have to do with Vince McMahon's feelings about the former WCW star returning to WWE after a 12-year absence. It's been reported that Vince isn't totally invested in Goldberg's return to WWE, so that's a lot of pressure on Bill Goldberg to be successful because it seems that WWE Survivor Series could be his first and last opportunity with the company. Apparently, Goldberg's main interest in being featured on WWE programming is for his son to see him on the biggest wrestling platform in the world. That is understandable. But there is a lot of potential for him to stick around in WWE through WrestleMania 33 if his match with Lesnar at Survivor Series lives up to the hype. However, WWE officials could pull a swerve that the WWE fans won't see coming at all. There is a report that claims WWE should consider turning. Now, listen to what I said. There is a report that claims WWE should, not could, not will, should. So this is merely an opinion piece. This is merely a rumor started by somebody who doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. There is a report that claims WWE should consider turning Goldberg heel for the feud with Brock Lesnar. At first, that sounds like a terrible idea because the WWE fans have been waiting forever to chant Goldberg again, and a heel turn takes all the fun out of his return. Not to mention that the former WCW and WWE World Champion is going to receive a hero's return to Monday Night Raw. So why rock the boat? The main logic behind the heel turn is the overwhelmingly positive response from the WWE Universe is going to fade away. Also, it's very unlikely that Goldberg will be getting the win over Lesnar, so it would make it a much easier pill to swallow if he were a heel. Goldberg could continue into other feuds as a heel if he sticks around after WWE Survivor Series. Another reason why a heel turn for Goldberg makes sense is his history in Canada is extremely negative over his career. And the possibility that trend could continue into Survivor Series next month is a reality. The last thing that WWE officials want to see is his triumphant return of Goldberg spoiled by a Canadian crowd that wants to go against the grain. WWE just may make the choice easier for themselves. WWE may turn Goldberg heel in an ultimate way to put over Brock Lesnar before WrestleMania 33. The two men aren't expected to cross paths until the final Raw before their match, so it's very likely that Goldberg won't be turned until a few weeks back on WWE programming, but it's at a risk that could ensure that he only remains with WWE through November. I don't give a shit. I really don't care either way if you turn Goldberg heel or keep him babyface, man. Now, look at what WWE, or look at what Canada did to Hulk Hogan when he fought The Rock. Hulk Hogan went in there with the fucking spray-painted beard. He went in there against a hot babyface Rock, and he went in there as the ultimate heel, as Hollywood Hogan. The Sky Dome, in one afternoon, turned everything upside down for WWE. Everything. They booed The Rock, and they cheered Hulk Hogan. They made Hulk Hogan back into a babyface, and they made the decision to turn Hogan from Hollywood back to the yellow and red. And soon after that, I don't know how long soon after that, but that was pretty much the starting point, or at least the idea, for WWE to turn Rock into Hollywood Rock, which is my favorite iteration of The Rock. You know? And it didn't last all that long. It lasted 3 or 4 months. But The Rock made mention of that, why he turned into Hollywood Rock. Why did he turn into a fucking egotistical Hollywood fucking prick? It's because the fans, like the ones in Toronto, turned their back against him when he was with Hulk Hogan. And he made mention of that in various promos, you know? So, I would not be surprised if WWE goes with that route, but I don't think it's going to make any sense. I really don't. Because if you're setting Goldberg up for a Hall of Fame induction, and you're going to get him to WrestleMania, and you're going to have him have one big match at WrestleMania, plus the Hall of Fame induction, a match with Goldberg really doesn't need a heel. It doesn't need a babyface. People should know by now why Goldberg is back. People should know what Goldberg is there for, what business he has, you know? I don't think anybody, unless you're a fucking 8-year-old goon in the crowd who's completely sitting there thinking that everything you're watching is, oh my God, this is really happening, this is real, it's blah, 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 all this other shit, you know? We know why Goldberg is back. It is a business arrangement. It is a business arrangement. He wants to see his son, see him wrestle, and he wants that one big moment on that big stage again. That's it. And they're going to sell a few copies of the video game come Christmas time. That's it. There doesn't need to be a heel at all. Quite frankly, I don't give a shit. Just get the match over with. Do what you got to do. Give us something to fucking get hyped about for one afternoon, and then all of it's going to fade away. Okay, it happened, it's here, blah, blah, all this shit, and then it's gone. You know? What do they got planned for Goldberg after that? I don't know. Who gives a shit? At this point, I don't even care anymore, man. Just get him on Monday Night Raw. Get him in the ring with Paul Heyman. Entertain me for about 20 minutes. And that's all I ask for. You know? I'm not going to sit here and expect Goldberg to win fucking titles and fucking take down all the big names in WWE. He might have 2 matches. He might have the Lesnar match coming up, which is pretty much all but confirmed. You know, there's rumors going around that he's going to be fighting Roman Reigns. So, WWE is going to be using Goldberg to their advantage. They're going to get Brock Lesnar more over than he is now. They're going to continue this fucking beast-like momentum for Brock Lesnar. They're going to solidify Brock Lesnar as being a bigger beast than ever before. And they're probably going to use Goldberg to put over one of their other big guys, Roman Reigns. You know? Roman Reigns is going to spear and Superman punch Goldberg at WrestleMania. And there you got it. Goldberg does the job. He does his deed. He gets paid. He's got a Hall of Fame induction waiting for him. And Roman Reigns is right back where he was. Nowhere. Think a win over Goldberg is going to impress people? Of course not. Who gives a fuck? You Superman punched Goldberg at WrestleMania. You speared Goldberg and pinned Goldberg at WrestleMania. Who gives a fuck? Seriously. You think I'm going to be impressed by that? You think that's going to change my perception of Roman Reigns? No. Not at all. You know? WWE thinks that is going to change your perception. They're going to use that to their advantage. Oh my God. The once undefeated man. 181-0. Right? What is this, fucking 1990 again? Who gives a shit? Roman Reigns is a fucking failure. You failed with Roman Reigns. Creative failed with Roman Reigns. You had something special there, and you fucked it all up. Add another name to the list that you're going to try and get Roman Reigns over with. Yeah? You go out there and you seek a 50-year-old Goldberg. He's the newest name to the fucking list. As if Vince McMahon, Sheamus, the League of Nations, Vince McMahon wasn't enough. Daniel Bryan wasn't enough, right? Give me a fucking break. Goldberg, heel. Who gives a shit? It's rumored. I don't think it's going to happen. And the reasonings here, I mean, they make sense, but, you know, a crowd is a crowd. They're going to cheer and boo for whoever they like. That doesn't mean the WWE has to fucking follow the fans in every arena they go in, you know? This is a Canadian crowd. They're rabid fucking people. And a real-life situation happened with Bret Hart. Of course Goldberg is going to get fucking booed, you know? But you should be anticipating that. You should be waiting for that. That doesn't mean there's an open door there where you have to turn Brock Lesnar into a babyface and Bill Goldberg into a heel. It doesn't matter, man. The same thing happened with Hogan. And they went with it because that was what they were thinking at the time. You know? Hogan stuck around. Hogan was around for 6 to 8 months, a year. You know? Goldberg is going to be here one day, and we're not going to see him until WrestleMania again. He's literally going to be here for 1 month. Who gives a shit if he's heel or face? It doesn't make any sense. And it's too much work for WWE. Bring him in, do the job, go home, get paid, come back at WrestleMania. End of story. SmackDown Live ratings improve while Raw ratings dwindle. This is something we knew already. I'm reading this and I'm fucking laughing. SmackDown Live ratings improve. SmackDown Live is improving, period. And Raw is a fucking Titanic-like disaster going down in the Atlantic Ocean. When the WWE draft happened, it was fairly obvious which brand would come out on top. Raw was the flagship show of the company. They have the longest history with rich moments and classic storylines that carry the WWE through the Attitude Era and beyond. Think back and reminisce about some of the instances that took place. CM Punk's pipe bomb, which is one of my favorite moments in Monday Night Raw history. The WWE wasn't going to have him cut that promo on SmackDown because it wouldn't have generated nearly as much interest. From the get-go, WWE fans had a feeling Vince McMahon wanted WWE Raw to get better ratings and better superstars. Seth Rollins was their number one pick in the draft. He was followed by Roman Reigns, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Sami Zayn, Neville, Bayley, Kevin Owens, and Chris Jericho. Wow, Neville was drafted over... Oh, well, I don't know if he was drafted over, but he was drafted amongst those names. And how many times has he appeared on Monday Night Raw? Maybe twice? 3 times, if that? Awful. Absolutely awful what they're doing with Neville and Sami Zayn. Give me a break. Additionally, WWE Raw has the Cruiserweight division, which is not looking too good right now, but that's not due to the talent. That's due to everybody in the back fucking sticking their thumb up Vince McMahon's ass. They're only on about 2 segments a night, but they still cater to a small audience that likes that kind of wrestling. As for SmackDown Live, they weren't handed the top guys on the WWE roster. AJ Styles, yeah. You know, AJ Styles by default is a WWE top guy. They got John Cena, right? They got Randy Orton. The Blue Brand drafted Dean Ambrose, Cena, Orton, Wyatt, Styles. But their mid-card was near extinct, and the women's division was lackluster. That is, until they started to write wrestling television. After 2 months, SmackDown Live is WWE's premier show, and the ratings are starting to reflect that. WWE Raw didn't have a debate to go up against, or if WWE Raw didn't have a debate to go up against, but Monday Night Football is constant in the fall season. SmackDown Live had its normal competition outside of playoff baseball. What did the ratings show this week for WWE Raw's number 2 show? According to SEScoops.com, the ratings for SmackDown Live improved for another time in the last month and are getting closer to WWE Raw. This week's SmackDown, I should say, drew 2.448 million viewers, up from 2.316 million. This week's show featured a fallout from the No Mercy pay-per-view with Randy Orton and Kane versus Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt in the main event. SmackDown was number 6 for the night on cable in viewership and number 2 in the 18 to 49 demographic next to MLB. Things are always getting better for SmackDown Live, who deserves the ratings they are receiving because they are booking wrestling television. Something that I've been proclaiming will get over if you handle it correctly. Monday Night Raw is not doing that. They are nowhere near wrestling television. At least not wrestling television that makes sense. SmackDown is making sense of literally everything that has happened on their shows. Okay? The content is exceptional. And the storyline is, or the storytelling and the storylines is what the WWE used to do so well. Dolph Ziggler and The Miz are prime examples of how WWE programming should display themselves. Raw, accompanied by illogical segments and lack of continuity, focuses on ill-timed shock value and part-time stars to boost ratings. That's the only reason Goldberg is returning to face Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series. Once again, Raw's ratings declined. Here's the hourly breakdown for Raw. Hour 1, 2.79. Hour 2, 2.88. Hour 3, 2.6. On the October 3rd edition of Monday Night Raw, McMahon booked Sasha Banks and Charlotte in the main event for the WWE Women's Championship. Banks claimed her second belt on the main roster. In a recent article by The Inquisitor, the ratings came in at 2.797 million viewers, which was up from the company's disaster before that, which was the presidential debate. The fucking circus that was Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. As this week's SmackDown Live is creeping closer to Raw in the ratings, sooner or later the Blue Brand is going to defeat the flagship show of the WWE, and Vince McMahon will arrive at a crossroads. He will have to decide if Raw can lose in the ratings, or if a change to SmackDown Live is necessary. Do you remember the last time that happened? Paul Heyman was shipped to Ohio Valley Wrestling. So, what this is telling me is that Vince McMahon would change a great thing in SmackDown to simply have them get worse so that Monday Night Raw looks better by default? What sense does that fucking make? If Vince McMahon comes out and does something like that, I will personally grab 3 of you and we'll drive to Stamford, Connecticut in my car, because that's all my car can hold, 4 people, and we'll knock on the fucking doors and we'll fucking ask, plead, beg to meet with Vince McMahon so that we can all give him the fucking finger. Because that is the most idiotic, ludicrous thing I have heard all fucking week. McMahon will arrive at a crossroads. He will decide if Raw can lose the ratings or if a change to SmackDown Live is necessary. There's no change to SmackDown Live that's necessary, man. The necessary change that Vince McMahon needs to fucking institute and instill is happening on Monday Night Raw. If you do not see that Raw needs a change, you should be fucking out of this company. Period. There's nobody with a logical fucking thought in their head that thinks Monday Night Raw is good television. It is absolutely fucking depressing. It is pathetic. Raw is garbage every single fucking week. Garbage. I have absolutely nothing good to say about Monday Night Raw. If there is, it's 10 minutes. Other than that, we get 3 hours. In the 3 hours, we get an hour and a half of commercial. And then on top of that, we get 30 minutes of wrestling. Raw is fucking terrible. How are you going to decide a change is needed on SmackDown when SmackDown is doing what the WWE needs to do? I've said this already. I've said this in the past. The model of business that WWE needs to go forward with is what they're doing in NXT. Everything in NXT is done the right way. The way they book storylines, the way they book weekly television programs, the way that they build to their special events. Everything just resonates. Everything feels special. They don't overwhelm you with shit. They don't overdose you with fucking authority figures and fucking guys you don't want to see. They don't ram someone down your throat. Monday Night Raw is literally every decision that they make, literally doing everything wrong. And it's Vince McMahon and creative to blame. I don't know what it is with Monday Night Raw. I don't know what it is with the people that work behind the scenes with Monday Night Raw. Why they just fucking make bad choice after bad choice after bad choice. Decision. That's fucking absolutely retarded. Why is SmackDown doing everything so good? Why is SmackDown making their television worth watching and Monday Night Raw we're falling asleep by 9 o'clock? Why? I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. If SmackDown's ratings are slowly creeping up and Monday Night Raw's ratings are going down, shouldn't that be the model that Vince McMahon bases his fucking show off of? Why does it have to be the fact that we have to base our show off Monday Night Raw? This is not what we want to see. The ratings reflect that. The ratings reflect SmackDown, and that's what we want to see. Wrestling. We want to see wrestling. We want to see stars mean something. We want to see storylines progress. We want to see pay-per-views have storylines that matter. And in the end, we're completely invested in those wrestlers and those storylines and those shows. How many times can we say that about Monday Night Raw? How many matches on Hell in a Cell can you honestly say you are invested in? Hell in a Cell has Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins for the WWE Universal Championship. I don't give a flying fuck. WWE has Sasha Banks and Charlotte inside a Hell in a Cell for the Women's Championship. The first time ever. And I don't give a flying fuck. It's desperation on their part. WWE has Roman Reigns and Rusev inside Hell in a Cell for the United States Championship. And I don't give a flying fuck. WWE has the New Day defending the Tag Team Championships after 400 plus days as reigning champions. I don't give a flying fuck. The WWE has 3 Hell in a Cell matches. A match that should be fucking showcased once a year. They're doing it 3 times in one night. I don't give a flying fuck. You see what the problem is? Do you see what the issue is? WWE, in every opportunity that they have given us, every opportunity that have presented themselves, they just ram it and shove it down your throats. They overwhelm you. They overdose you with fucking bullshit to the point where you just throw your hands in the air and you don't fucking care. You don't care. I don't care about Hell in a Cell. Meanwhile, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to critique it. And I'm going to sit right back here when I do the review. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I said here. I don't fucking care. Monday Night Raw is a fucking disaster. And to see something like that and read something like that, Paul Heyman was shipped off to Ohio Valley Wrestling. Why? Because SmackDown was producing better shows than what you were producing? Get your fucking head out of Kevin Dunn's ass and stop sniffing the fucking shit that's fucking hanging from his ass crack and do something about your A+ show. Because right now it's looking like a fucking F-. SmackDown, I'm glad. This is brilliant. I'm glad SmackDown is in the position that it's in. Because I was one of those people that proclaimed SmackDown dead in the water with the fucking draft and the fucking bad hand that they were dealt. Look at what they did. Look at what they did. They got someone who was obviously passionate about the business to book their shows and write their shows in Ryan Ward, right? Look at him booking these shows. Look at him creating television along with Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, and Road Dogg, and whoever else is a part of these shows, right? Devon, whoever else is back there as an agent writing these shows, whoever's part of creative, right? The main reason why they wanted to do this brand split was to split up the creative writing staffs and to split up the cameramen and the refs and the talent and the agents and all these other fucking people, right? So they're two separate entities. Look at them doing what needs to be done with less. Look at Monday Night Raw and all the talent that they got. Look at the 3 hours that they need to fill, and you still can't get television across in a manner that is watchable. I just don't get it. It's so, I just don't understand it. It's so mind-boggling to me how this is a fucking issue in 2016 when WWE, with a half a roster, with the Monday Night roster that they have, they still can't get it right. You take a look at Monday Night Raw's roster, half of a roster, and it's better than most promotions in the United States, and they still can't get it right, and they still embarrass themselves. A change need to be made to SmackDown Live, right? Changes need to be made to SmackDown Live. No, the only change that I know that needs to happen is for everybody who is booking Monday Night Raw currently to fucking step aside and actually have SmackDown book Monday Night Raw. Maybe then, and only then, Monday Night Raw will be watchable. Because right now, the way Monday Night Raw is, I just don't give a flying fuck about anything on that show. At all. If you enjoy it, by all means, continue sucking the fucking cock that is WWE. It is awful. How anybody can wake up the next day and do what I do and sit in front of a fucking fancy microphone and on camera and upload a podcast and talk about wrestling and you're okay with what's happening on Monday Night Raw, or if you sit here and you do this and you try to find positives about Monday Night Raw, there is no positives. There is absolutely no fucking positives. I see right through you. You're full of shit. You're fake and nobody wants to hear your fucking bullshit. People want to know what is going on. People want to know why this show sucks. There's nothing good about Monday Night Raw now. Nothing. People want to know what needs to be done to change the show from the current disaster it's in right now. They don't want to find good on Monday Night Raw because there is none. There is none. There is no hope for any good. The entire show produced one show post-draft that was actually watchable. And I guarantee you, whoever booked that show was not named Vince McMahon, or Stephanie McMahon, or Kevin Dunn, or anybody else. Nobody. Nobody that's working with WWE right now produced that show. I guarantee you. And if they did, I'd be shocked. Because look at the shows that followed. They got progressively worse. And each show, from that moment Finn Balor pinned Roman Reigns, they've gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. How much worse can it get? How low can you go? It's like walking the fucking Congo line. Absolutely pathetic, Monday Night Raw. I don't know what else to say, man. It is so out of this world, mind-boggling, how they can't book this show. If anything needs a reset, fuck TNA. If anything needs a reset, it's Monday Night Raw. Let's talk about this. Mickie James. Mickie James will be returning to WWE to face Asuka at NXT TakeOver Toronto in one of the biggest surprises of the year. WWE was able to give us something huge for NXT TakeOver Toronto. NXT TakeOver will see Women's Champion Asuka defend her championship against Mickie James. Asuka has cleaned out the women's division in NXT, and no one seemingly was ready to take her on. She beat the heart of NXT in Bayley, and even some of NXT's veterans like Dana Brooke and Emma, who are now both on the main roster with WWE Raw. On top of this, she's taken out all up-and-comers who will have come their way, like Liv Morgan, and now she may have her sights set on people who don't even work for the WWE. During the recent set of NXT tapings, William Regal told Asuka that she would not wrestle anyone in NXT on the roster for TakeOver Toronto. She would be wrestling the former Women's and Divas Champion, Mickie James. This isn't some normal match either. She'll be wrestling Mickie for the NXT Women's Championship. The match, of course, will happen the night before Survivor Series at NXT TakeOver. This is a huge event for the WWE in both areas. WWE has not been in Canada for Survivor Series since the Montreal Screwjob 20 years ago. Obviously, WWE knows this is a big time for them, so adding NXT to the weekend is a great plan for the company. Last year, WWE brought in Jushin Thunder Liger to face Tyler Breeze at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, and it was a huge moment for the WWE. Now they have added former champion to the roster in Mickie James. The question is, will James be back for one night only, or will she be back in the WWE for good? Also, will WWE pull the trigger and have James beat the unbeatable Asuka in her debut NXT match? Asuka has been dominant, but Mickie does have a better career in the WWE than Asuka. Mickie has also beaten WWE Hall of Famers, so her resume is seen as quite the major in the promotion. She left the company years ago, but not before becoming a 5-time women's champion. She would go on to have success in TNA wrestling as well, winning their Knockouts Championship on 3 occasions. She has 8 major women's titles, and that is certainly nothing to scoff at. She is clearly the biggest test Asuka has had in the NXT women's division right now, and that means Asuka could look even more unbeatable if she beats Mickie James. The 37-year-old ended up marrying former TNA World Champion Magnus and became a mom around the same time. More than likely, a full-time return is off the table, but the fact that she is returning at all means that WWE feels she can work well in this new age of women's wrestling for the business. Working with Asuka is certainly not an easy task, as she could easily overshadow anyone she works with due to her amazing ability. However, Mickie James may be able to do well with Asuka. There are many women in WWE that has had the past that simply could not return in this day and age, simply because they weren't good and they weren't that good at all, and they would be embarrassed by the athletes WWE has now in the women's division. Someone like Mickie James would by no means fall into that same category. In fact, she may end up giving us some amazing matches with the women of today. Her match with Asuka could very well deliver just that. Asuka has clearly been dominant, and right now no one knows who will take the NXT women's title off of her. Mickie James may be returning to the WWE and may be a former champion, but that does not automatically mean she'll take out the Empress of Tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see if WWE will have James take the title off Asuka by this, but this seems like more of a way to build up Asuka than give Mickie a major title run upon her return. Mickie is not winning the title. Mickie James is not winning the title. This is clearly WWE's way to get another name on Asuka's resume so that when the time is right, Ember Moon is going to come along and she's going to be the one to take down Asuka. Because that's what they've been doing. That's what they've been doing at the house shows. Ranting and raving. People have been fucking praising their matches at these house shows up and down all summer long. Ember Moon is going to be the one to take down Asuka. That is what's going to be. It is too soon for Ember Moon right now. Ember Moon hasn't been featured as much. She has been here and there. She had a couple matches on NXT television. But she hasn't been on television enough to warrant a championship match. And this is WWE's way, and They're lucky Mickie James was available. They're lucky that they have this kind of resource to dip into to get a Mickie James and a talent like Mickie James for a show like Takeover, which desperately needed something because there was nobody else in the women's division in NXT that would make a championship match worthwhile. And WWE has huge shoes to fill when it comes to these takeover events, man. If there's one thing about takeover events, it is the women's matches that happen at these shows, man. Each and every one of them has been special in their own way. Each and every one of them has pretty much been a focus of the takeover shows. And WWE going into this with just Asuka holding the championship and no legit talent and no talent being built up to even look at Asuka, never mind challenge for the championship. It was a sad state of affairs for WWE. They had to do something. They had to do something, and this was the best thing that was presented to them, and I'm glad this is happening, man. Mickie James was one of my personal favorites. I enjoyed her very, very much, and I'm glad that she's back, and I'm glad that she's going to be in the ring with Asuka and at TakeOver because she's going to receive that warm welcome back. She's going to be showered like she's never been showered before, man. And it's going to be amazing. She's going to want to be back after that night is over with the reception that she's going to get, man. It's going to be a very special night. And I hope she sticks around. And I hope she works with the likes of Becky Lynch. And I hope she works with the likes of an Alexa Bliss. I would love to see her on SmackDown. I would love to see her back doing her thing. She doesn't have to be back full-time. Nikki's not back full-time. Nikki Bella's not back full-time. She works SmackDown, and that's it. She's not touring with the brand. She's not wrestling at house shows. There's no reason for her to. Otherwise, it's just going to accelerate an injury happening more and more and more. You know, Mickie might be a full-time mom, so Magnus isn't doing much right now. Magnus could be a stay-home dad. Mickie could be on the road with WWE once a week and do what she's got to do. And give the fans what we want to see, man. Quality women's wrestling from a name that people respect and appreciate. I hope Mickey's back, but she's not winning the title. This is merely another name to add to Asuka's resume so that when Ember Moon comes around, it's going to look all that more impressive when Ember Moon hits that top rope stunner, the lunar eclipse on Asuka to win the NXT Women's Championship. I don't see that happening until 2017. Obviously, WrestleMania would be the ideal place for Ember Moon to dethrone Asuka as the face of the NXT Women's Division. And you know what? Actually, you know what? There's a couple more stories. What am I at here? 50 minutes. I don't know, man. I don't know. Do I go on? Or do I save these two stories for tomorrow? I think I'm going to save them tomorrow. I'll give you guys a part 4. On Monday. I'll round up some more news. The other stories I had here, it's a big one here on The Undertaker. Undertaker, is the dead man finally done with the WWE? People tweeting pictures of The Undertaker with crutches. I mean, everybody's already jumping the gun. Oh, Undertaker's not going to be at WrestleMania. He's on crutches. Undertaker's retired. Undertaker's going to be at WrestleMania, you fucking idiots. If The Undertaker hasn't come out and said he's not retiring, then he's not retiring. He's not retiring. Why would the WWE pass up on The Undertaker not retiring? Or at least pass up on The Undertaker wanting to come out in retirement and not say anything about him being retired? You know? They at least want to have a retirement tour for the guy. Stone Cold walked away. WWE didn't even know Stone Cold was done. Austin knew he was done when he walked away, but that was a missed opportunity for WWE to cash in on Austin's last match. You know? They're probably fucking heartbroken that that wasn't the case. Undertaker will have a farewell going away tour. He will be back. And we're going to go over what's going on with this and what people are saying. And then obviously Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. Main eventing Hell in a Cell. What Eric Bischoff had to say about that. There's a few other stories that I can round up for Monday too. It won't be a 50-minute episode, but I'll figure out what I'm going to talk about on part 4. So make sure you guys tune into that. I am JD. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you guys for all the support all weekend. We are nearing, I don't know, what am I at? 67,000? 68,000? I don't know, man. But thank you to everybody that's subscribed, whether you subscribe for the podcast, whether you subscribe for WWE 2K17. Thank you for everything. Thank you to everybody that's pledged on Patreon. Thank you to everybody that's bought a shirt. You guys are fucking unbelievable, man. I've been working my ass to the fucking bone all weekend long to give you guys the content that you want. And I'm fucking exhausted, man. But if you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you guys are thinking about everything down below. And I will see you guys for part 4 of Off the Script on Monday morning, guys. Until then, take care. I'm JD, and I'll talk to you guys on Monday morning.